Rip, have you figured out how to do this without all us getting trampled?
Best we came up with, sir, is like, fuck it, you know?
All right. Fuck it.
Now be a good intern, Jared, and hit the record button.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go. If we're gonna talk military shit, let's just hit the record button, and I can edit all this later. So you would have never left your barracks room had it not been for your boys.
Yeah. No, I was very much a fucking barracks rat, and just went there, slept, play video games, and then went to work.
Dude, so the whole reason why half the barracks on my side had internet was because of me and a buddy of mine who would play Call of Duty, because we were on the same shift. He was on the right side of the hall, I was on the left side of the hall, and we would literally team up and play video games and have our doors open so we could yell and talk to each other instead of talking in game chat. And that's the whole reason why half of our barracks on that side had internet, dude.
Oh, that's about the same. So those I don't know. Have you seen the barracks up in Fort Lewis McCord?
No, I never
No?
got a chance to see those.
I think they're the shitty ass ones. They're not the fucking nice, clean built ones. They're the old apartment ones. Like
Okay.
a brick, and the windows face each other. So my buddy got there like the same day I did. I just got to the unit before him because
Okay.
of weird paperwork. He got the room right across from my window. And as soon as we became buds, we just flung our window open. We'd shout at each other. What are we drinking tonight? I got whiskey. Let's go to the commissary.
Oh my god, dude. Dude, those commissary nightly runs, those were the fucking best.
Oh,
Dude,
Oh,
the PX at 2 a.m, it's like, dude, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go to the PX. You want anything? Yeah, sure. Here's $10. Get me a nos and get some taquitos or some shit like that, dude.
fuck giving him money. I just feel like, all right, give me 10 seconds. I'll get my boots on.
Fuck that. We never. It just one person always went because our KD had to be perfect. You know, we just if one person's going, great. Here's my credit or debit card. Right, swipe that for my shit. There you go. We used to have training because I was night shift. We used to do training every so often, and then what we would do is we'd have to stay up for like the rest of the day to flip back to a night schedule, right? Because we'd go to training during the day. They'd give us a night off so we could readjust the nights. And my buddy, who actually was dating a girl at the time, would end up actually cooking food for us all the time. So it'd be me, my buddy who lived off base, and then my friend across the way. We'd all hang out in my dorm room, play video games till like 4 a.m. She would drive everybody home, and that's how we'd go to bed.
No. Yeah.
And flip back to night shift. It was actually fun. She'd do like those giant stuffed pasta shells that were like fucking that big, dude. Oh my god. Tara was a hell of a cook. A hell of a cook. She fed us well, man.
I used to, well, it was for the week. For me, it was work 5 days a week, maybe sometimes the weekend, but majority of the time get the weekend off. So we all immediately after work, as soon as we could cut loose, we drove 4 hours to get away from base. 4 hours
Okay.
to the Navy base. Because his brother, who was working pier guard there, and there was a few days when we weren't supposed to show up, and we showed up like, hey, what the fuck, guys? You're not supposed to be here. We are now. We got beer.
Dude, when I was in tech school, I was with a gal, and we were riding, and we got on a bus. And they're like, don't leave base. That's your one rule in tech school. We were like week 3, and they're like, don't fucking leave base. Well, what does the bus do? It pulls up to the gate, and we're like, where the fuck are we? And then we drive into San Antonio, because that's, at Lackland Air Force Base. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? Where's this bus going? Why are we off base? Well, it's going to the annex. Apparently, there was just an annex on the other side of town where the bomb squad, the bomb guys,
Yeah.
fucking did their shit. We got off there. There was a cool little PX over there. We went shopping a little bit there and then came back. But like, it was the scariest thing in the world because it was like, what if they find out we're off base? What if they find out we went off base? And it's like, well, I mean, technically, we still were on Lackland. We were just on the annex.
Oh, fucking AIT. I don't know about a lot of places, but for what was it, Fort Jackson? There's what's called the island.
Oh,
It's where all like the mechanics for that base are trained, and there's only one way in. And
okay.
it's a bridge that goes over a civilian highway.
Okay.
So it's literally an island because they're completely fenced in. Highway bridge coming in. It's the only way.
That's
And it was a bus. The only thing that went over that for everyone else to get off of that base was a bus.
good
So that thing
God.
was packed every fucking weekend.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Dude, like I swear to God, the number of people that would come out of the woodwork on Friday nights at Lackland Air. Well, I've had my little cursor over there, Zoom, but the amount of people that would come out of the woodwork to go to the enlisted club, to go to the dance club, to go to the PX and all that shit during tech school, like it was just insane. The number of people that would just come out of the woodwork and like, wow, this base is fucking packed full of people, right? Like the barracks would empty out. They'd have couple of staff sergeant blue ropes patrolling. Those were the guys in charge, and it was just
Yeah.
fucking hilarious to watch this shit and just all the people come out of the woodwork. Everywhere that you went was just packed full, and that's why I think I liked Ellsworth. It was a small base, and very few people lived on base, so it was just nice small little community. Lackland was fucking massive, dude. Never again. That is the number one reason why I hate big cities. So many fucking
Uh,
people.
I just don't like big cities because what? So while up at Fort Lewis McChord, this is the only reason I don't really. I used to don't have a reason that I hated big cities, but now I do. Is
Hmm.
we left Fort Lewis McChord to go to Seattle. My buddy had bought a new car from a guy in Seattle.
Okay.
We're driving up there. We're using GPS because we have no fucking idea where the fuck this guy lives.
Yeah.
And we're like going. All of a sudden, GPS says, "Do a U-turn." I'm like, "But what?" All right, do a U-turn. Turn around, go back to the main road. Do a U-turn. I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" We
Jesus.
did that about 5 times, and we're like, we call up the guy. Meet us at Walmart. Fuck this.
Dude, that's
Fuck GPS.
that's the main meeting place for everything now. Like the Walmart parking lot, the police station, or you'd be like, "Hey, like here in Point, dude, we have a informational center, right? That's right next to a Culver's. It's just like,
Yeah.
hey, meet me next to you know where the Culver's is right off the highway. Oh, by the U-turn, yeah, meet me at the information center right there. Like you have those common meeting grounds now. I fucking, ah, buying
Yeah.
shit off the internet used to be scary, didn't it?
uh, that's scary as going into some of those neighborhoods.
You remember Craigslist, dude? When Craigslist was the way
Oh,
to
that it's still cringe sometimes. Don't go down
dude.
certain tabs.
Dude, I remember there was I had bought a 308. I didn't like it too much. It had a bull barrel, so it was like stupid fucking heavy. Like in the in Tarkov where you can only ADS so long with the RSS. Yeah, I think that they just have bull barrels on there. That's why, because that gun was at least 20 pounds, right? Ended up put it on Craigslist, and this dude was like, "Yeah, meet me in the Planet Fitness parking lot. And we'll meet up there. Just open the trunk, give the guy, show the guy the
Drug
gun.
deal.
He checks it all out. He makes sure everything's good to go, and it's like, all right, good, we're gangster. And this was right before Craigslist banned the sale of firearms. Like that shit was sketchy as fuck, wasn't it though?
Oh yeah. There's some. I feel like there's like a dark website of Craigslist still.
Well, I remember when Craigslist used to do like the seeking ads, right? The dating seeking ads, and that quickly spiraled into whatever that was, and then Backpage got brought up, and then Backpage got shut down, and all that great dude. I remember first dabbling in Craigslist, and then that was like when dating pro like Plenty of Fish and OK Cupid and shit like that first came out.
Oh yeah.
That was a interesting time of the internet. Very interesting time on the internet.
No, I'm never going to Craigslist again for anything. I'll fucking go Facebook Marketplace now. That's so much safer.
Yeah, I've looked at a few ads on Craigslist because I was like, I can't find something on Facebook, so I tried Craigslist. It's a fucking people are like, yeah, look this ancient teapot that's all rusted up, $300, and you're like, fucking what?
No,
And
$10.
yeah, five at the best. I am curious, Kyle. What is the in your tech school, like, what was some of the crazy shit that happened in tech school for you guys?
Uh, let's see. I guess the craziest thing for me was the fact that and even in advanced training, I you still had CQB,
Mm-hmm.
and coming off one and going to class that day, we I ended up we're inside the vehicle. We're learning some systems about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like just so I can be like actually see what's going on because I'm a visual learner, not a like listening and read off the textbook.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hanging upside down through a hatch, and eventually the fucking blood rushes to my head, and I just pass out.
Dude, that's
And everyone's like, all of a sudden, apparently I snored, and everyone just turns, looks up, and sees me hanging upside down like a fucking monkey.
dude, that's hilarious. We did you guys have a Field of Dreams?
Oh,
Do you know what that is?
no, no, we
So
didn't.
the barracks were kind of like there's the male barracks on the right and the female barracks on the left. And what would happen is that there's this giant field. Just for some reason, in the middle of Lackland, there was this giant fucking field. And if they wouldn't mow it, after they wouldn't mow it after a couple of weeks, and there'd be some really tall grass. So in the summer, you could go out there with your honey, and you could go have sex because nobody could see you in the massive tall grass. And one of our guys and one of the gals got caught and were pushed back a week because they were out in the Field of Dreams.
Yeah, no. We had conjoining buildings. We're It was like 5 stories. You just if you ran down the hall far enough, you would hit the dividing like stairwell door area,
Mm-hmm.
and on the other side, which was a locked area and you could only be let in by the females, was their area.
So you had to get good in with the gate guard then, huh? The troll at the front
Mm,
gate.
yeah.
Nice. I don't know, like what was your because you were a mechanic, right?
Yep.
What was your tech school like? Like, was it just basically learning how to fix the Humvees, the Deuce and a Halves and stuff, or basically what'd you end up doing for tech school?
Well, we ended up doing like I'd say it was like a 50-50 learning, 50% in textbooks, 50% on the actual systems. And it was like just not, I can't even say I used any of the actual things I learned in tech school. I learned a whole lot more at my unit.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it, I definitely preferred the fucking working on, what is it? Just actually working on it rather than being in the classrooms. It definitely felt like I was learning something and how to maneuver stuff around.
Did you get a specialization, like a vehicle that you specialized on, or was it
Uh, no, well, I guess, so I was not a 91 Bravo. I was a 91 Sierra, which is a striker mechanic.
Oh, okay.
So we learned everything that had to do with putting that system into action. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was fun.
Okay.
For the food there was so much better than at my unit.
I would actually say that yeah, the food in tech school was a lot better. It was a lot better in tech school than it was at base. That shit sucked. I remember
I think
though.
I ate actual eggs at at tech school rather than at my unit.
Yeah, there was a guy that would just be like omelet, 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 That's like what his phrase was, and he would scream that like to everybody. And he was, I think he like cranked the heater up like as high as it possibly could go, so that way he could cook them real fucking fast for you. And the guy would just crank them fucking out. The French fries though, dude, I remember the French fries. I don't know what they cooked those French fries in, but it was fucking delicious. Those French
It
fries
could have
were
been
amazing.
motor oil. Whatever. It tastes fucking good.
Yeah, whatever it was phenomenal. I loved every second of eating at that place. Uh, I did ask a guy one time. I was like, "Hey man, could I get a little bit extra fries?" And he takes a chunk out of there and puts it on my tray. And I was like, "I just wanted like a couple extra fries. I didn't want a whole extra fucking. I didn't want a main course of French fries where that's all I ate
Too
for the
bad. You
day."
got
Yeah.
it.
And then the lunch lady actually came up. She's going. She's like, "You want to eat all the fries?" And I was like, "I didn't want all of these fries. I just wanted a couple extra." So I had fries for lunch, and then I proceeded to puke all over the course that we ran that day because it was just French fries.
Oh, I love watching
Did
that.
so in tech school we did the I'm up they see me I'm down training, right? We had a wall that we had to clear with our A-frame. We jump over it, we get into a sand pit, we do the I'm up they see me I'm down, right? So I cleared it with my A-frame. I jumped up. I jumped too high and I landed on my boys, right? And I just kind of rolled off the top of it. And my tech school instructor is like, "Airman Jared, are you okay?" I was like, "A little bit. Just give it a second." And then later that night, I actually pissed a little bit of blood, so I called my mom on my cell phone because we were like, having it. I was like, "Hey, mom, hypothetically, if somebody pees blood, what does that mean?" And my mom's a nurse, so she's like, "I'm sorry, what?" I was like, "Yeah, hypothetically, what does this mean?" Oh my god, I love I love that shit. Did you guys have to do anything dumb like that, where it was just a bunch of training, or was it just learning about how to be a mechanic the whole time?
Well, we had basic training and advanced training.
Yeah.
The basic training, we had to do all that fucking sleep in a foxhole, know how to build a fucking 50 cal fighting position, all
Nice.
that. Uh, get fucked up by my drill sergeant because I shot him with the fucking training laser thing.
Yeah.
He ran up to me and said, "You didn't fucking shoot me," and kicked me. So yeah.
Oh my god. Did you ever have to do a rain dance?
No. I managed to. Whenever it came to punishment stuff, I managed to like cruise underneath the radar.
Our
Mainly because we had a female that just did not know what she was doing there for.
hmm, shoot, was she a female DI
Uh,
drill instructor or just on your
no,
team?
no, no. It's just a boot, basically. And,
Did
and
Did you guys have a co-ed flight or a co-ed
yep,
unit?
yep.
Oh,
For basic training, and I had it was like 50-50. Oh no, it was like 25-75 because we just were starting to have the females enter in with us.
oh, so I yeah, because when I went in, my flight was all males. I had a sister flight where it was all women, but yeah, it was our flights were all just men. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
also had female drill instructors and one short black woman that you see she coming, you hide in your locker.
our master sergeant that ran our training unit was the same way as well too. But when you did something good, she complimented the hell out of you. It was it was a very different experience because for like I think it was 8 weeks because I know Air Force basic training was technically 6 weeks long at the time. I was part of the Fat Kid Camp. Uh, I I took a little extra while to be able to hit 60. What was it like 45 push-ups in a minute? But by the time I was done, I was able to do 60 in a minute. But when I came back to a flight, she loved drill. You know, the marching, the turns and stuff like that. And I remember we actually were 1 point shy of winning the streamer for drill. And what is that? It's not. Is it drill? The marching
It's
shit.
I think it was colors.
Yeah, it was colors or parade or something like that. I forget what it was. But like when the drill instructor tells you, you know, the left march, all that bullshit, and you parade. Yeah, I think it was just parade. But we're gonna win the parade streamer. We were 1 point shy, and she laid a very positive compliment on us. And for the rest of the training, we basically try to make her proud. That was so weird, just trying to make them proud. Like that was the weirdest thing in the world, to me.
No, I didn't want to. I was very much a okay. Avoid any confrontation or positive or negative view of the drill sergeants. Avoid it all. Get through it because I was what was it? I went in thinking Full Metal Jacket, basic training. I went in like that.
Hmm.
I very much did. And it wasn't, but I still treated it like that because fuck becoming attention.
Dude, my last name is so unique. The drill instructor, day one, Aaron Jared, I got your name. I got your ass. I know who you are. And I remember the first thing that my recruiter said, don't let him know you. I was like, motherfucker, he knows me day one. Day one. And then the second flight that I went to when I got out of Fat Kid Camp, there was a Marine drill instructor there. And so, like, he didn't know how to pronounce my name either, so he just fucking called me Alphabet. He's just like, Alphabet, eyes forward. Like, fuck you. And yeah, it was great. we would also we would also think we did really good. Did they ever fuck with you like that, where they made you think you did really good, and they'd be like forward, flight halt, 45 to your left, drop, and you're like fuck.
Yeah.
I thought we were doing good. I thought we won. You know,
We were told this is positive reinforcement when we were told, and half right face.
oh my god, fuck that.
Yeah.
The When was the first time you heard the phrase "the beatings will stop when the morale improves"?
uh, uh, um, let's see. It, I think it was 2 weeks in
2 weeks.
after, after, what was it? Sunday. It was immediately after like all the services were done and
Mm-hmm.
everyone was getting back to their units. It was it was immediately into that because certain people hadn't been like taking care of their bodily functions and everything
Mm.
correctly. And we'd have one guy, we were like fucking so close to having a sock party with him. But yeah, him and a few others just weren't taking care of their hygiene.
I got you.
So then the drill sergeants found out, and uh, yeah, we suffered for the next 3 hours.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. I remember we had a dude who thought he was fucking hard as shit in our unit. Like he thought he was hard. Pissed himself on a march halfway from one place to another. And the instructor, I could hear him yelling. He's like, "Why the fuck did you piss yourself?" He's like, "I was too afraid to ask you to the bathroom." And my drill instructor just threw up his hands. He's like, "All right, everyone, 45 degrees to your left. Let's go. Faces down. The beatings will stop once morale improves." And we're like, okay, I guess just collective.
Oh,
That was the best. The collective punishment. That actually, I think, made us work as a cohesive unit better. Even though I hated the fuck out of it, it helped us actually work as a cohesive unit. So
yeah, it definitely I would say, got us through several things as a group because what was it after the beating, the fucking punishment we got for those people, we immediately started policing them. It's like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Go fix
hmm
yourself before we have to get fixed.
we had a lot
There
of
was,
self correction.
uh, but at the same time, I can understand being so scared of the drill sergeants. It's like, I do not want them to notice me. I think was it? I went through Fort Lee, or was it Fort Jackson? Fort Jackson, and they're the fucking sandbar burn lanes,
hmm
marching up and down those. Oh, my feet have never felt that punished.
Yeah, we would just be in full uniform, full gear. Warrior Week. We had a week where we went and played soldier for a little bit before our tech school was where we actually learned how to do it. But that was, we did the gas chamber and then we just put on all the gear and we just ran in a direction. Drill instructor just
Yep.
picked a direction. We just ran that way until he was just like, "All right, I'm bored. Let's turn around." It's like, okay, I guess let's go. Let's do the other half. That's fucking fine. Yeah, your boots got worked in real quick, real fast after Warrior Week.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I know a few people that I go through gas chamber multiple times because they wouldn't listen. They would start touching their face and everything after
Hmm.
having the gas mask removed.
Did they ask you a question to make sure that you inhaled the gas?
Oh, bro, we had to recite our social security number, tell them our mom and dad's name. It was just crazy shit. It's like there's no reason for saying this stuff, but
Well, but they were like, "What's your favorite restaurant?" And Jose was like, "Pose." Or POs. I was like POs. He's like, the fuck is POs? I was like, it's a burger joint in Houston, sir. It's where it's where I used to like to eat. And then one of the drill instructors was like, oh, that what I forget like where exactly it was, but apparently he had been to Houston a few times eating at POs. He's like, I know the place. What's your favorite order, Airman? And so like I had to tell him my favorite order, and yeah, I will tell you this though, my sinuses cleared the fuck up after that. Like
oh yeah,
it,
that was the
it
it
was a
killed
relief.
every bug in the fucking barracks I was going through.
Oh, it was so nice. It felt so good.
What, no one had fucking the flu going. No one, hell, I'm pretty sure it killed crabs.
Yeah, I mean, once you get past all the snot and feeling like shit for about 30 minutes and you get clear of it, dude, it cleared you right the fuck out. Like, I swear they do that at the most tactical time possible. Like, everyone's going to be sick as shit. Let's just clear them all out with the CS gas.
Yeah, it was fucking amazing. It was when almost everyone in the fucking barracks had something, some respiratory or nasal or just being a head sick or something. Going through the gas chamber cleared everything.
God, I love that. I uh, I do remember one time that it was we got tear gas during training, and then we all got on the bus afterwards, and it was like getting tear gassed a second time in the field. It was amazing. The bus driver had to open. He was like, "Open all the windows. Everyone, open all the windows. I can smell the tear gas." And we're driving down in Nevada trying to get clear of everything. I kind
Yeah.
of want to get tear gassed again. I think it would be fun to try again. I'd hate life for about 30 seconds, but it'd clear you right up if you got a head cold.
Oh yeah.
Did you Are we done? Fucking screaming at everything, man. He's been nonstop.
Yeah.
Non fucking stop. I don't know what his fucking deal is. What let me ask you this, Cal, because I know
Okay.
we got to talk a little bit about it when I interviewed the first time I met you. What was your favorite time during basic training? Like, what was your favorite moment in basic training?
Uh, see, the most memorable moment for me, I'd have to say, I guess your definition of like Warrior Week
Mm-hmm.
is we've got it's basically the last 2 weeks we have, and it's just nonstop going grenade rage, qualifications. Uh, I mean, I didn't like the ruck march, but everything else other than that was great.
Yeah.
Defending our position against like the other groups, attacking them, uh honestly being literally beaten the shit out of by my drill sergeant.
I did like the when they'd like, all right, you're at a forward operating base here. Go ahead and defend this, or hey, go ahead and rock and roll with this. The grenade training as well too. Throwing the actual live grenades and then throwing the fake grenades. That was always fun as shit. I loved all that crap. As much as that week was probably the worst because like these tents that we slept in, dude, just full of sand, full of like we swept I remember we got in there and we're like, there's so much fucking sand. We started sweeping it to get it out, and we couldn't breathe. So we put on our gas masks, right? We were sweeping our tent out, and one of the cadre comes and he's like, "The fuck are y'all? That's actually really smart. Continue with what you were doing," and just fucking walked out because we were sweeping with all the sand with our gas masks on. It was fucking brilliant. That was like my most memorable moment that I absolutely loved because it was something so dumb, but when you impress a cadre right off the rip, yeah, that makes me feel a little proud.
I I hated the butter bars. The fucking West Point trainees that came in about halfway through basic training. Oh, I could live the rest of basic training without them in there.
What was so bad about them?
Oh, they we so you know, like the first few weeks the drill sergeants are just there to break you in,
Yeah,
get used to it and everything, and set
yeah,
them ground rules
yeah.
of how this works. They come in and tell us something the complete fucking opposite, and we get ripped for it. They don't. We
Mm-hmm.
do.
Because you're doing what you're told.
Because you can't give a drill sergeant an excuse of why you did something. You just have to take it. And you can't blame those guys for anything.
Well, I mean, you can, but it doesn't end well.
Well, I mean, it doesn't stick to them because they don't technically stay there long enough for anything to stick.
Mm. How long were the butter bars with you guys?
Oh, they were with us for 3 to 4 weeks.
3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
That's actually a long time.
Well, we had, I think it was 8 weeks of training.
Oh, I didn't know they mixed officers into basic training with you guys. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They put some fucking West Point bitch ass motherfuckers only know how to read a textbook.
Speaking of bitch ass officers who only know how to read from a textbook, you know who doesn't read from a textbook and who actually, I don't, I don't. Here, segue to our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by our sponsor, File Under Entertainment, where I have to lend out my intern Jared to Eric and Company, where every other Tuesday they review a few movies. Don't forget to slam that filing cabinet shut when you're done. And remember, till next time, I love you. You're worthy of it. Besos.
Well, yeah. Let me describe them to you. Okay, we had one that sort of looked like a jock, your high school jock.
Yeah.
Then we had books, a library, book smart girl,
Mm-hmm.
cheerleader,
Mm-hmm.
and then male nerd as nerd can be with some like maybe 2 inches of muscle on
Ah,
his
okay.
entire body.
We had when I went through Mineral Wells Falls, Texas, behind a jail. We had a first lieutenant who basically like we were a hodgepodge of training units. We were getting sent in basically all over, the theater, the Midwest theater, and so we kind of came together as a hodgepodge training unit. And when we did land nav, it was me, this one girl that I kind of liked. She was very hard nosed, very smart, very intelligent. So I was like, good. I'm with somebody who's smart. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, Lieutenant so and so, you're with Airman Jared and the gal," and he pulls up like he's that thin, nerdy kind of dude with a little bit of muscle on him, and he goes, "All right, Airman Jared, you're up." I was like, "For what, sir?" He's like, "For land nav." I don't know what I'm doing. Don't get us lost. I was like, "Are you fucking serious, man? Like, really?" He's like, "Yeah, you're a E3 or E4 right now. You should know what's going on." And I was like, "Yeah, I've been here for like 4 years. What about you and all your fucking fancy ass, insignias and shit? You do it." I was like, "I don't fucking know. You do it. Good luck." And then he just kind of like looked around and he was just waiting for us to go. We missed one land nav point, so I feel pretty good about that. I love the
Oh.
lieutenants. They'll just pull up. Like we had a lieutenant that joined our unit, Lieutenant Ruiz, coolest motherfucker you ever meet. But he comes up to the clearing barrel with a loaded 9 mil, and he's like, "All right, Airman Jared, de-arm me." Pulls it out, sticks it in there, And he's like, all right, what do I do? I was like, are you fucking serious, Lieutenant? He's like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I didn't go to tech school just yet. I was like, you haven't been to tech school yet. They let you arm. He's like, I'm an officer, baby. I was like, if you fucking shoot this barrel, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you, man.
Oh, oh. I think so. The basic training butter bars I hate were my worst. I have to say, Butter Bar Wen was my fucking favorite lieutenant because he was he wasn't he was the book smart lieutenant, but he was also like, okay, well, here's what the captain has told me what to do, and here's his end objective. How you guys want to do it? I don't care. Let's go. It's like, okay, well, let's leave.
Who was your favorite officer that you served with? Active, like once you were out of basic and everything like that. Who was your favorite officer?
It was a green to gold, actually.
Really?
Yeah, he was a staff sergeant that went lieutenant, and he was a second lieutenant by the time I got to meet him. And by far, he was the best because 1, he knew his shit. 2, he didn't care how his shit got done. And 3, he generally stayed out of our way.
He just let you
and
do you.
I was a specialist by then, which was the majority of all the low ranking at the unit. So we were like, nah, all right, we're gone.
Specialists are E4s, right?
Yep.
Yep.
You have private first class, private second class, and specialist.
Major Seegers. He was my commanding officer for a number of years. That man, he was very strict. He was very hard, but he was also very much just get it fucking done, airman. That was his rule. That was his mentality. I remember one night I was at the front gate, Liberty Gate, just watching all the cars come in, and I get a dependent pull up, and I don't see the passenger, and I read the dependent card. I was like, Mrs. Seegers. I was like, you're Major Seegers and then Major Seegers is, I'm a little drunk, Airman Jared. What's up, buddy? I was like, oh shit, how's it going, sir? He's like, I'm fucking drunk. The wife's taking me home, and she's like, please, like I could see it in her eyes. She's like, please let me go. Please let me go. I was like, ma'am, you have a great night. Good to see you, sir. He's like, see you Monday.
I think I've had a few of those with what is it? My not officers, but my sergeants. Sergeants and staff sergeants that come through the gate. Okay. And then there's sergeant first class, and you avoid those as much as possible. I don't know why. What's the mentality change as soon as you go from staff sergeant to sergeant first class?
It's that power, dude. Because then like you're officially, because as a staff sergeant, you can kind of get in a little bit of trouble, right? It's not really that big of your fault, but now that you're a master sergeant or a first sergeant, like you're in the shit. Like it is all on you. Everything is all you now.
Yeah. But again, they're worse than like your first sergeants, like the actual company in command first sergeants or your master sergeants. Sergeant first class is literally a grade I will avoid interacting with. I will go to the staff sergeant before I go to the sergeant first class for anything.
Sergeant first class was a E6 for you guys, right?
Think they're E7s. I have to look it up again.
Okay, because that would be the equivalent. Yeah, because I'd work with the staff sergeant. I would not ever work with a tech sergeant or a master sergeant. The E6s and E7s. I tried to avoid them as much as possible. I did have a master sergeant roll through the gate one time at like 1:00 in the morning, and apparently he had picked up his daughter who was in a bit of trouble, right, a spot of trouble because it was 1:00 in the morning, and he gives me his ID, and I look over in the passenger seat, and there she is. It was like, sir, it's a 100% check for, ID on everybody. He's like, that's my daughter. She's 16. I was like, ooh, all right, sir. All right, you have a good day. He's like, I got your ass, Airman. I'm watching you. I was like, dude, it's like 2:00 in the morning. What the fuck do you expect? You got 2 people in a car, a man and a woman. It's dark outside. I can barely see.
E7 is sergeant first class.
E7 sergeant first class.
Yep.
Okay, so that was the equivalent of a master sergeant then for
Yep.
us in the Air Force. Yeah, I didn't like messing with them.
Yep.
They
No.
were
That's just I don't know what it is, but that grade. I knew a fucking fantastic staff sergeant that ranked up to that and immediately became a shitty ass person. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but it's that fucking grade.
the power goes to their heads. It goes to their heads for real, dude. It really does. It gets to them. They want to conquer the world. They want to be badasses. Ah, well, Kyle, since I think I'm just editing all the sound effects, and you ready, buddy?
Sure.
It's kind of hoping somebody would show up. Kind of hoping the boys would show up. We were supposed to have so
They
many
probably
people
forgot.
here. Yeah. Oh well. So actually, no. Wait. Maybe I can. No. Ah, fuck it. I'll just edit the sound effects in. So, Editor Jared, roll the fucking intro.
Welcome to Random Reddit Answers, where the boys attempt to help you, the viewers and listeners, with their issues. We've solved how to open a soda can quietly. We've saved a marriage or two. What can we fix for you today? Intern, who are we helping first?
Cool. Oh, that's done. So Kyle, what's an addiction that's the hardest thing for you to quit? What is an addiction that is the hardest thing for you to quit? So something that you're addicted to right now. What is hard for you to quit?
I mean, the only addiction I have that I have a problem getting rid of is drinking my caffeinated Mountain Dew drinks. Like I have no problem with quitting. Was it smoking, tobacco, like alcohol, all that stuff? I can quit, but for some reason, my caffeine I need.
I I'm kind of inclined to agree with you on that. Like it's to the point where like I'm going back to only being able to drink certain energy drinks, right? And I can't do it. I just like I can't go back to just the coffee at Quick Trip. It's getting to that point where I gotta find something that I can continue to drink. Monster Rehabs are really really good. I will
Yeah,
say that
yeah.
they're fantastic.
I like the yellow ones the most.
The
The fucking
lemonade ones.
lemonade. Yeah.
Watermelon's really fucking good though. I got a variety pack with watermelon, berry, lemonade, and I think there's like a tea one as well too, or it's just like a straight tea that's coming. Kind of excited about that. The other addiction, teas.
Peace tea. Yep.
Like peace tea, Arizona tea. They had a 12 pack sampler where it's a bunch of different flavors. I got that last time. I loved every single flavor because it's all the random ones. So I just bought two of them, so I get
Nice.
a 24 pack of that. Those are two addictions that are hard to quit. The flavored drinks. I can't just drink straight water, dude. It's disgusting to me.
It's the same. The same. I think it's more of tap water that's kind of my repulsion to water more than just the actual water because all the chlorine and stuff they put into it just I can taste it and I'm like, meh, I'd rather drink a Mountain Dew.
Well, it's just I know it for basically 7 years. That's all I did was just hydrate, just water, 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 water. And then even for like a year after I got out, I just straight drank water. My mom's like, you can have other things. I was like, yeah, I
What?
know. And then I went to the fizzy waters and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is a billion times better. I'm not ever gonna I'm not ever gonna go back. Not ever gonna happen.
Yeah, and then everyone complains, Kyle, you're gonna end up passing so many kidney stones. Kyle, you're gonna have diabetes. I'm like, well, I'm gonna die happy.
uh, I want to be old and senile, and I don't want to know the end is here. That is how I want to go out. I don't want to know that the end is nigh. Well, kind of speaking of addictions, what's a habit that you actually struggle to stop? So, what is a habit that Kyle has that if he were, I'm going to have to try to stop this, it would be a difficult one?
uh, but well, I guess like a lot of I can go there. Yeah, a lot of my self doubt I have for my internal monologue. Like,
Okay.
there's some times when I know I went to the darkest spot and I should just pull myself back out of there. And I end up going back there every once in a while. It's just the thing I do. I don't know why, but overall, I'm not. I don't think a sad person.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Kyle. I appreciate that. Very, very rarely does somebody go, "Yeah, I'll touch the deep dark down inside. I'll touch." So I guess to kind of what you were talking about, if you're to share a little bit about that, it's my overreaction or my overthinking usually when it comes to women in relationships. Like if there's one small little thing, like sometimes to them it's just a passive like, oh, Jared's just being a dumbass. But like I can dwell on that moment for like days, and then they'll be like, yeah, I'm like, hey, really sorry. I know that kind of came off super cringe. Like I don't even remember that. And but to me, it was just there. It was super prevalent. It was a moment in life where I was like, wow, I was a douchebag, a big old douche canoe during that part. So
Yeah.
that is a habit. Would you shut the fuck up? You have everything you need. I moved the house around so you could see me better. You can shut the fuck up.
With the birdie one, Suji.
I fucking dude, I don't know what it is. I don't know why he's so excitable right now. I don't understand it. For the last 2 days, I don't get it.
It's breeding season.
I guarantee that's what it is, but I don't know how to shut it down without moving into. So get this, I move everything into my bedroom, right? It stops a lot of the problems that I have. It does. I can just close the door on them. But you know what the problem with moving into the bedroom is? They get louder because they can't see me. That's the problem I have. If I move into the bedroom, they cannot see me, which means they freak out because they can't see me. I love them to death, but I hate that about them is that if they can't see me, they freak out.
Yeah.
So this next question comes from Ask Women. It's women over 35 who decided to not have kids. How's it been going for you? I know you're a little bit younger than I am, Kyle. So let's just rephrase it. Men who have decided to not have kids, how's it going for you?
Uh, I mean, I think I'm in a more secure location than I was when I was dating and possibly having kids. Could possibly have kids.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what was it? I had a coworker ask me a few days ago, what's your position on kids,
Mm-hmm.
Kyle? And I'm like, it's all up to my partner. They
Mm.
want kids, they don't want kids, I don't care.
So you just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah, I'll step up if I have to, but at the same time, I'm not going to force someone to do something.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't want to have children, whatever.
I, I mean, I know I technically do have a kid. I technically do have a little guy in New York, but really, I'm just because of the massive differences between me and his mom. Um, for all intents and purposes, I'm child free. It's kind of been a a nicety, I guess you could say, because like I'm look, I'm selfish as can be, right? Like that's why I like birds. I can just give them food, give them water. I sit on the couch. Usually they're pretty fucking happy. With kids, you got to find a babysitter if you want to go out. You know, if work is like, hey, Jared, we need you in Madison, or we need you in Milwaukee, or we need you to go some other place for this thing because I've offered up my name for a ton of things, I'd have to find a babysitter, do all this other stuff. I can't just sit there and game for 12, 18 hours, right? I kind of enjoy the massive freedom that I have. I do thoroughly enjoy the absolute freedoms that come with it. So,
Yeah.
ah,
Even though your children squawk at you all the time.
even though they're killing me right now. You're killing me, Smalls. You're fucking killing me. Uh what is what's the biggest surprise about the other gender that you learned? Uh that comes from it's coming from Ask Reddit. What's the biggest surprise about the other gender that you never knew about?
uh, let's see. Everyone, one just left the room, Jared. I saw him in the background. Let's see. Uh, I would have. Let's see. It's. I don't know. I grew up with mainly female prominent household, so not a lot surprised me about some women, I guess.
Hmm.
Well, I guess the biggest thing is how quick they can change their mind on a subject, or how quick they can fixate themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Their ability to go way too fluid than it needs to be for the situation.
Their ability to flip on a dime.
Yeah,
That
or
yeah.
all of a sudden dry up the waterworks, or all of a sudden just spring them out. I'm like that's some scary shit, I think.
I've seen my mom full blown tears, crying her eyes out, and then have a phone and have the phone ring, and just she shuts it off, and then answers the phone like nothing was just happening. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me, mom? Like, that's impressive."
I don't know. It's some scary shit. You don't know what's going through their mind at that point.
Yeah.
Because I know several women in my life that still hold a grudge against something because they couldn't work it out in that moment,
Dude.
and it's some scary shit.
I my biggest thing was the pain tolerances of people, the pain tolerances of women. It has always surprised me, like where like a period will put a woman out down for the count. She just can't work, can't operate, right? And then to some other women, that same excruciating pain is like a 2 on their scale. They're like, "No, this is not a big deal. It just happens once a month. That it just really hurts to exist." You know? And then you look at things and you're like, "Wow, so the wide variety of pain tolerances, like with men, right? Pretty much we all have that upper limit of where like, yeah, we get hit in the dick, like, you know, we're gonna all drop to our knees or at least have some form of like, whoo, this is painful, right? We've
Yeah.
all, you know, I've broken an arm before and I just was like, all right, I cried for about 5 minutes. I put my arm like this for the rest of the night and I slept on a couch. And then like I went because I was like, yeah, well, it doesn't hurt that bad. And they're like, Jared, you have a hairline fracture. I was like, oh, so that's why it hurts so fucking much, right? And like that was me at 12, right? So like
Yeah.
as men, we all have that kind of threshold where we're like, all right, we know how bad a thing is. With women, it's all over, dude, right? Like they stub their pinky toe, and it's like the most deadliest thing that's happened to them. Other women, they stub their pinky toe, and they're like, huh, look, it's bleeding everywhere. You know?
The
So
psychopath laugh. It's like,
yeah. So that's something that I would that's something that I would throw out there. Hey, Kyle, I gotta ask you then. What gives you butterflies? What gives Kyle butterflies?
I don't. I can't really. Oh boy. Well, are we talking about like any given situation or a
Yeah.
specific?
The question is just what gives you butterflies?
Okay. Let's see. Uh, hmm, uh,
See if
I,
nuts will shut them up.
uh,
I mean, I can go if you're having a hard time.
yeah, I can't really think of anything because
I
generally everything that's like even like situations I would probably deem as that it was me hitting on a girl or something like that. It wasn't actually me having butterflies. It's me making someone else like rising to the occasion for them rather than myself.
the extreme anxiety, dude. It's like yeah, pulling around to like Caribou Coffee or like going somewhere where I know I there's a high probability of me encountering a woman that I kind of want to ask out because I've built enough of a rapport with them. That can be a high anxiety place. But what gives me butterflies is like you remember like in Avengers Endgame when Thor picks up or when Captain America picks up the hammer, right? Like or you hear on your left, like those big swelling moments that have been built up. That shit gives me butterflies all the fucking time because I know exactly what's coming. It feels great. uh, Also when I'm in sales, when people are like, sure, let's go ahead and sign up today, I'm like, fucking gangster. And it is a bit of a dopamine hit. It is a bit of a dopamine hit that really love that I really love. The final question that I have here today, Kyle, is what is one thing that you wish never existed?
One thing that I wish never existed.
What is one thing that you wish never existed?
I can list off a few people.
I know you can list off a few people, but what
Um,
is one thing in society that you wish never existed?
uh, in society.
I would say pure selfishness. That would be my answer is pure selfishness. People who are just so selfish that like they talk on their cell phone on full volume on speakerphone in the middle of a train, right? Like let's if I could cut selfishness completely out, like I know that we would be a way better society, but people are going to be selfish, so I'd be like, all right, let's cut like 75 50 to 75% selfishness, right? Like where maybe people would answer the phone, it'd be on speakerphone, like, hey man, I'm on the subway. I know it's probably really rude to talk around these people, but like, is it important? And then if the guy's like, no, not really, okay, well, hey, I'll call you back, right? Something like that, right? Where people weren't super selfish about shit like that. So that's what I would eliminate if possible.
uh, I kind of, well, I guess then I would think of. I wish people would be either more open or more willing to step up. A lot more people, because I think a lot of situations in the world would be a lot faster solved if someone would just immediately step up rather than have to wait however long before someone does that think they can handle that situation.
The courage was more that cowardice was less in our
Yeah,
blood, a lot less cowardice.
yeah. I understand the self-preservation part of it, but at the
Hmm.
same time, it's the situation would become a whole lot more better for people if people would just step up.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. There was a police video that I saw where some lady was getting assaulted basically like in the middle of the street with a bunch of bystanders around her, and I'm like, I'm counting at least three people, three men that are in that area that could 110% solve that problem. Officer got out, meg dumped into the guy and killed him. I was like, that's dope. Good, good, one less asshole in this world. But it was like, really,
Yeah.
there's three men around you right now and you can't stop that one deranged guy. Like, yeah, I get it, but there's three of you. If all three of you act right now, you could solve the problem quite easily. Quite easily.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I guess, yeah, those police videos of, like I've seen a few where the female cop is struggling and there's just some guys standing around. And then there's the ones where the fucking one guy just full on tackles the guy off the female police officer. Like, there we go. Step up.
Step the fuck up. Yeah, I like it, Kyle. Step the fuck up. We should all step the fuck up from here on out. Thank you for joining me, buddy. Thank you for being the only one here.
Yeah. Even though I missed two so far.
Jared's not stupid. He's just panicking. Row. Can I be honest with you? I thought they were all robots at the zoo. I've never seen one in the wild, so as far as I'm concerned, they don't actually exist. But apparently they do, so that blows my mind.
I'm just really glad I didn't have to fucking do this alone. Thank you, Kyle.
You requested that last bit, didn't you?
Yeah, I fucking did.
You fucking bird, man.